Hello guys, you're welcome to another episode of From the Heart with Favour, where we discuss matters on lifestyle, faith and relationships. So if you're new to my channel, you're welcome and thank you for tuning back in. That's to my old subscribers. So please make sure to subscribe before we continue. It's for free. Nobody is charging you 10 kobo. Anyways, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications whenever I post new videos. So our topic for today is toxic relationships. Like, there are a lot of them. So how do you know if the relationship is toxic? A lot of times it's actually really subtle, but it's there, and with time it magnifies. Anyways, let's get right on to the video. So toxic relationship, like I'm not going to be only talking about romantic relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance and husband and wife. I'm actually going to be also talking about, like, casual friends and just friends. There are toxic friendships. Like, I think a lot of times we overlook that one and focus more on the romantic, so to say, relationships. But if someone cannot realize that he or she is in a toxic relationship with just a friend, how then will the person realize when he or she is in a toxic romantic relationship? So how do you know that you are in a toxic relationship? Number one is selfishness. Like, sometimes you actually are focusing on the other person. It might be you, it can be you that is listening to this video or that is watching this video that is actually the toxic one. So it's not, we are quick to point fingers on, oh, he's toxic, oh, she's toxic. What if you're the one that's toxic? The first or the number one sign that this person is toxic is selfishness. If this person is selfish, like always focus on himself, herself, all that can be done for her, like feels like the world revolves around them. Auntie, uncle, the world does not revolve around you. Like, the next person has their own life. Like, if you are in a relationship, you should actually share your time. You should share your attention. Like, I feel like a lot of times we're in relationships where we don't have the attention of the next person. If you don't have the attention of the next person, what are you doing in that relationship? Like, what are you doing in that friendship? Anyways, so if the person that you call your friend cannot sacrifice time for you, cannot share time, cannot share his or her time, cannot share his or her affection, cannot share his or her attention, because it's really important that you have the attention of the person that you're in a relationship with, or the person that you call your friend. It's really important that you have the person's attention. So if the person can't sacrifice these things, like some people, if the next person just keeps giving and giving, the person will get tired one day. So you just keep taking, grabbing, and then you don't give anything back. That is actually being really selfish. The essence of relationships is to share. The essence of friendship is to share. So if you cannot share, then what are you doing in that? You should actually now be in a relationship with yourself. Like, date yourself or be your own friend. You're not sharing your time with anybody. You're not sharing your affection. You're sharing it with yourself. But if you must be in a relationship, if you must be someone's friend, you must be willing to share, because that's the essence of relationship, and that is what makes it fun. Because at the end of the day, if one person keeps giving, a time will come when that person will get tired, when that person will be drained, will get, like, it's just like when everybody keeps collecting from an ATM machine. I said ATM machine. It's just like when you keep collecting money from an ATM. Of course, at some point the money inside will finish. So if there is nobody filling it in, or if there is no deposit of money inside, how do you now withdraw? That's the thing. So if you keep giving and giving and giving and you get nothing in return, you are drained. You feel drained. Like if you at some point you get tired of just giving, you get tired of the whole thing. You even get tired of the person that you call your friend, or the person that you call your partner in that relationship. So if you are the one that is the toxic one, please, like, examine it very well. Examine yourself very well and be sure. Doesn't mean that you cannot focus on yourself. No, by all means you can focus on yourself, like focus on yourself. But when it's always about you, there is a problem. If everything has to be about you, they say something is about you, they do something, it must be about you. Like, auntie, uncle, are you Jesus Christ? Anyways, so really, if you are the selfish one, or if you know anyone like that, it can be worked on. It just takes the Holy Spirit to realize that you are selfish. Because yes, human nature, it's embedded in human nature to be selfish, but the Holy Spirit makes it easier. Like, love makes it easier. If you really love the next person, the other person, you can willingly share with the person, because love is sharing. If you cannot share with the person you claim to love, if you cannot share what you have, if you cannot share your time and every other thing like that with the person you claim you love, then can we call that love? Because let's even check it. God gave his son. He sacrificed his son for us, and that was love. That is like the highest point of love. So if you cannot sacrifice for the other person, do you really love that person? Because love is sacrifice. So the second sign of a toxic relationship or friendship is when the next person makes you feel that you need to change yourself to be with them, or they indirectly hint it. It's actually disturbing. If I can't be myself around you, then what am I doing around you? Like, I don't need to change myself to be with you. Yes, we are not perfect. We are all flawed. There are some things that we do that are wrong. But if I have to like change myself to be, even cry, even God told us to come as we are. So it's in the process of we walking with Him that we become changed, that He changes us from the inside out. So if indeed there are some things that you are doing that are not right, or that maybe morally not right, and this person is trying to change it, it can change as time goes on. By the time you rub off on the person, it changes, or the person rubs off on you, it changes. But not like I have to change myself, I have to change the way I talk, I have to change the way I walk, the way I dress, just to be with you. Seriously, that is really, really disturbing. Like, I had this friend that whenever we go out, she'll be like, okay, I meet new people. What's your name? And your name sounds like my dialect, Igbo. My brother, we are going to speak Igbo because I love my dialect. Sometimes I actually get tired of English sometimes. I remember telling my husband while we're still engaged that, you know what, I think we should be speaking more of Igbo, because I actually got tired of English. Doesn't mean that you don't, when you go outside you speak English, but when I'm inside the house, I prefer to speak, I like my language. So anyways, not to digress. So she kept hinting that she doesn't like it when I keep speaking my dialect Igbo to people. If this person understands the language, why stress myself speaking the other person's language? So indirectly she was actually wanting me to change myself, or to be all tush and stuff. I don't have to be that. If I meet my brother or I meet my sister from the same, how do they put it? Anyways, you understand what I'm trying to say though. But That's me. So if it was later, I didn't realize it then that was actually toxic, but it was later that when everyone had gone their separate ways, I actually realized that it was actually toxic. Why do I have to change that aspect of me just because I am your friend, because you feel it's and she actually said it was embarrassing. Seriously, if indeed you love me, if indeed I'm your friend, that's the minutest, if there's an English like that, of is that even a crime to speak my language? Is that a crime? Anyways, so that's it. If you have to change yourself to be with this person, it's toxic, it's disturbing, it's not right. That person is not your friend, because that means they are not comfortable around the real you. If the person is not comfortable around, you can't pretend the rest of your life. You can't pretend 24 hours of a day. You can only pretend for so long. The real you will always come out. So that means they can't actually live with you. That means they can't bear to stay in a space with you if you are being the real you. So if that's the case, that is toxic, because why would you have to change yourself to be with them? If Christ himself can say come as you are, who are they? Like, they are not God. That's my own take on it. So another thing is, when the person is not how do I put it? When the person is not cheering you on, like, the person must not be, the friend might not be your number one fan, but the friend should be, I don't even know why the friend will not be your number one fan. Anyways, but the friend or the partner should be able to cheer you on. You know, when you are doing something, when you are pursuing after a goal, when you have set something that you are actually pursuing after, the person should cheer you on. Oh, you can do it, and all of that. If the person is not doing this, then is that person your friend? See, I like to stem things that I say from the Bible, because that's our manner for living. Anyway, so if God himself cheers us on, like, our manner for living is the Bible, yeah? So if you go through the Bible, you see where God is actually cheering you on, like, you can do it, fear not, and all of that. So if God is cheering you, if God is cheering you on, who is this other person not to cheer you on? Like, if the person actually calls himself or herself your friend or your partner, the person must cheer you on. Like, the person must be in your stand, the person must be your fan. If this person is not your fan, then there's something wrong with that relationship or with that friendship. Like I said, that's my take on it. Now, the next the next sign is when the person is not considerate. Like, they see you doing something and you obviously need help, and they just sit down there and they are just looking. They are not considerate of how you feel, and they just say things. They don't consider your feeling, they don't consider your condition, and they just do things because they feel it is their right. If you really love someone, you must consider what the person's feeling will be. Doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes, but when it becomes a recurring thing, when it becomes like a habit that they never consider you when they want to do something, you are like an afterthought, or they place you in the back burner when they are trying to do something, then something is really wrong. If the person does not consider how you feel when they do this particular thing, or what you would say, or your condition, and then they do something, what's the essence of that relationship? Really, what's the essence? This one, I don't know, I didn't even say it first, but anyways, another sign is emotional abuse. Like, when they say emotional abuse, obviously there is the physical abuse. Everybody knows that one. Thank God that it's actually being brought to limelight these days. everybody now speaks on it, but we actually forget the emotional abuse. Like there are no physical bruises in this one. It's all in the emotions. Like you are killing that person when the person is dying slowly every day because of how they are being treated. If this person talks down on you, if this person waters down your efforts, if this person always makes you feel like you are not enough, makes you feel like you are nothing, makes you feel like you're not beautiful, makes you feel like you don't have shape like other ones have. All of us cannot come and have Coca-Cola, how do they say it, Coca-Cola bottle shape, the figure 8. Everybody cannot come and have figure 8 now. Anyways, if this person makes you feel like you're not complete or anything like that, that is a very toxic relationship. Like when you would, and that is actually what brings people to now changing themselves. That's true. That's what brings people to changing themselves to be with the other person, because the other person have told you so much of how you are not doing it right, told you so much of how you are this, how you are that, derogatory words and all of that. So if this person waters down your effort and waters down your personality, like to start with, see, it is a toxic one, hands down. That's basically it. So if they are always telling you how you are not getting it right, they are always telling you how you are not looking right, they are always telling you, like, there is nothing you say that is enough, there is nothing you do that is enough, there is always a but, like there is always a you did not do it right, there is always a chastising with words, not by, like, I'm talking of emotional abuse right now. You know, you are not beautiful, you are not smart enough. Like sometimes these things might not be, they might not be saying like in your face kind of words, but you know, all those subtle words that gently, slowly, they now keep seeping into the person's mind, and the person now starts thinking that, oh, I'm not enough, oh, I'm not good enough, I am not adequate enough. Like, if you are friends with this person or you are in a relationship with this person and your confidence is not being boosted by this person, rather it is being killed and squashed and mashed and buried, it's toxic. The next sign is extreme jealousy. Like, if you're in a relationship or you're friends with this person and this person will not allow you or does not allow you to, you know, share with your other friends or share with your family, really, and some of these friends might have been there before he or she came along. If I can't share my time or my affection or my resources with my friends and my family just because I am friends with you or because I am in a relationship with you, then it's toxic. This one is basically present in romantic relationships and marriages, some of them. Anyways, if in this relationship you can't share with other people, oh, they're just only permitted to share with him or with her, seriously, like, now the person gets you, you are not my owner, so how is it that you are not God that will tell me, oh, everything I have and everything I am will be only for you? Really? Even God allows us to share with our friends and our family. He even advises that we share with our friends and our families. But when this person, like, seriously, I think if we must get what true friendship and true relationship, what being in a relationship is, we should learn from the Holy Spirit, we should learn from God, because check it now, like, He is the perfect friend. So guys, the last point I'm going to make is when this person does not value you, when this person places things over you. Because if this person is your partner, if this person is really your friend, the person should be, you should be able to count on this person. This person should be reliable. Because if this person obviously places other things, work and friends and and other things out over you, can you really rely on that person when you are really in a time of need, when you really need that person? Can you really rely on that person? Can you? Because what's the point if you now remember me when you are done with every other thing, you have spoken with every other person, you have hung out and hung in with every other person, and then and then in the middle of the night, that's when you now come and remember me, you now come and disturb me. Seriously, there's some people like that. Like, if you love someone, if someone is your friend, you make time for that person. You can't tell me that there was no time. What's the meaning of there was no time? Like, that's my belief. If you care for me, if you love me, if I'm really your friend, if I'm really your partner, you have time for me. You create time. Friendship, relationships basically take intentional work. Like, you must be intentional in your actions, you must be intentional in your thoughts. That is basically what, when it comes to relationship, that's basically what it is. We must be intentional. So you can't tell me that you don't have time for me. You don't have time for me. Really? That is really toxic. If the person really does not have time for you. So that's my take on it, like I said. And these things can be worked on. First of all, the first thing to do is take it to God, take it to the Holy Spirit. Explain to the Holy Spirit He is the best friend that you can have. Explain to the Holy Spirit what you feel in this relationship. Let Him advise you, and then dialogue. I will always advise. I will always prescribe dialogue for when there is an issue, because the other person might not know that they are actually doing this thing. So discuss it, talk it out with this person, respectfully and with wisdom. Bring it up. Like, I don't like this thing you're doing. I don't like it when you say this. Like, I feel like when this happens you should do this, and all that kind of things. And then pray to God that the person sees sense in what you're saying. You understand? Because it's easy to say something and the other person does misinterpret what you're saying. So as you are speaking to the person, just ask God to give the person understanding, to really understand what you are telling them, and to work on it. And then sometimes it might actually require that you separate. Separation is not a crime. It is not a problem. If it's for married couple, I will solely advise prayer. It's prayer and intentional work that will really work on this one. But when I talk about separation, I'm talking of just normal friendship and dating or romantic relationship, so to say. So talk with this person. If it requires that you take a break from each other, by all means do take a break. If at the end of this you can come together, you can come back together, fine. If you can't, as far as the slate is clean, don't hold a grudge over the next person, over that person. Just do the needful work. You that are in the relationship, and you, the toxic one, and the one that the whole toxicity is being practiced on, need work. Because for you to have borne it to that level, that means there are some things you did not know. So get to know those things you didn't know and work on yourself. If there are some lies you've gotten to, or you've grown to believe about relationships, about yourself, correct them by the help of the Holy Spirit. And I believe that by so doing, it will get better. I'm just going to say no when you are around a toxic crowd. Know when you are around a toxic person, because that is how it starts. You can't tell me that you did not see it. Nobody can pretend for for all their lives. You can't pretend for all your life. You can't pretend for a whole 24 hours. Like, there must be a slip of the tongue. There must be a slip of action. The thing is, are you watching? Are you eat? I would say watch and pray. That means the watching is really important. So you must be watchful. Like, don't be so engulfed in the feeling that you don't recognize when you are being disrespected. Don't be so engulfed in the feeling that you pass on when you are being disregarded, or when you are being insulted, or when you are being used. Yeah, that's the word, used, because a lot of times a lot of people are used in relationships, and at the end of it, they are just, you know, packed and dumped like an old radio. So know when you are around a toxic crowd, when you are around a toxic person. It is really, really important. So that's it for today. And again, please make sure to comment, give your suggestions on new topics to discuss, on games to play, you know, and things like that. And please make sure to like and share to your family, to your friends, to your loved ones, and all. Subscribe and click the bell to be able to get notifications whenever I post new videos. Until next time, see ya. Ta-ta.